It's that time again.
It's the annual Annies and Oscars reading nominations video. I will admit that 2025 wasn't the best year that I watched a lot of animated television shows. That is my bad. This will be more focused on the movies, but still important to celebrate these wins because AIR is still trying to squeeze into the format to say that they can definitely do things way better, and I refuse to accept any AI-generated art ever. Some of these nominees come from people with a true passion for the art, animation, and storytelling, and I just refuse to accept that somebody that uses the latest technology of AI-generated art to say this is just as good. Just look at these nominees that we have here. Everybody here has created something so spectacular. Yes, with the help of a computer, but not the entire computer creating it for them. Just to wrap up this rant before it gets long, I just really think that AI generative art is never going to replace the true dedication that I see every day. And the Annie Awards are a great reminder to show that animation is still powerful thanks to creative individuals. I am going to shout out a couple of snubs I didn't see get nominated this year that I still want to honor and reflect on. Nausea 2. I don't know if you guys have seen Nausea 2. This movie was an absolute feast of the art, and I was never the same when I saw this movie. The Glassworker. This is a really nice movie made from Pakistan. It's their first fully animated movie, and you can tell that they were inspired by Studio Ghibli to make it. It is really beautiful. It's quite marvelous to look at. This movie technically came out in 2024, but it was released in theaters last year and I got to see it. Boys Go to Jupiter is one of the most bizarre yet creative projects I've got to see. The music itself is so marvelous. It's like watching a video game come to life, and I truly had a fun time seeing it, and I hope there's somewhere where you can watch it to really get to see the bizarreness of this film. So now let's get over to the nominations. This is so fun. 53 years. Wow. All right, we're gonna get on to Best Feature. We got Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie or the character of Rain, The Bad Guys 2, and Zootopia 2. What? So happy Bad Guys 2 got a nomination. Okay. Oh man, I love The Bad Guys. Bad Guys 2 especially. It was more badder than the last one. Like, man, I loved how things got farther. I love that there was an actual conversation about the bad guys trying to be good in a world that still sees them as the bad guys. And I can only hope Bad Guys 3 will be just as incredible. Glad for this nomination. I will admit I was not a big fan of Zootopia 2 when I first heard about it, but then I watched the movie and yeah, it exceeded my expectations. It was really nice to see the improvements of the animation. I still think there could have been some stuff that fixed with a little bit of the story, a twist that really got my attention, but overall, a real fun time, and I can't wait to see what happens with Zootopia 3. Little Amelie or the character of the Rain. I'm just gonna call this movie Little Amelie if that's okay. This was such a really lovely French film I got to see, and I was captivated by the artwork, and I was even more amazed just the conversations that we have, and this 3-year-old girl who has this idea that she's God and witnessing her whole world changing around her and taking in what's happening. It's quite interesting, but more importantly, so captivating. I enjoyed it. Now, Elio was such a complicating mixed decision. I only say complicated because of the behind the scenes that happened with Elio. I'm not saying it was bad, but I would have loved to see how the original project was. Still, I really enjoyed the animation, especially with the alien creatures. They had amazing designs, and I really wish there could have been more of an emotional build-up, which again I could discuss later. Still, I'm quite amazed that Elio is leading against with K-pop Demon Hunters with the most nominations. But for K-pop Demon Hunters, oh boy, I can't believe this movie has exceeded to the cultural impact that it has, and I'm so glad it is. K-pop Demon Hunters is absolute fun. If you have not seen it, oh my god, do yourself a favor, go watch it. Talking about music, slaps, animation, stylists as hell, and overall a real huge dedication and love to what K-pop has done. But in general, this movie has so many more layers, and I really hope they can expand this universe because man, we're just getting started. But K-pop Demon Hunters I think is going to be the pick for Best Feature. Now I get the Best Animated Feature Independent: A Magnificent Life, Arco, I Am Freaking Elda, Lost in Starlight, and Scarlet. I only watched Arco, and this movie was definitely something. The style was reminiscent or reminded me a lot of rotoscoping, but also getting to see these two kids, Iris and Arco, talk about their own worlds and how they are so fond of each other and how their impacts has changed their lives for the better. It really was something, and I can't wait to see when it fully gets out. Now for the other independent films, I have not seen it. I am really upset I did not get to see I Am Freaking Elda at the Animationist Film Festival because yo, stop motion Frankenstein, and man, do you see it? It looks great. I think A Magnificent Life is also great. Guys, I have not got a chance to watch the Triplets of Belleville, and I really want to because these are the same guys who are doing it, and it looks incredible. Lost in Starlight looks really lovely. I mean, oh my gosh, this lighting is incredible. Now, Scarlet, I'm not the biggest fan of because it's interesting how the flashbacks are 2D animated, but then in the present where Scarlet is fighting, it's 3D. And the way that it looks, I'm not the biggest fan of it, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I'm not sure who we'll go to. It would be nice to see Arco, but I would also love to see freaking Elda get it. We get the best special production. There's only 2 nominations we gotta talk about. Adult Swim's The Elephant and Not Just a Goof. We're gonna talk about Not Just a Goof first. So, this is a documentary that talks about the makings of a Goofy movie, which is so good, and I can't believe, because of its significance after 30 years, we are still talking about this father-son road trip and getting to see behind the scenes of it all. Anyway, so I'm glad I got the nomination. Now, Adult Swim's The Elephant. I have to remind myself to make a video about this separately, but I will just go in short. I have never seen in my life a project directed by 4 of the most incredible animators ended up working so well, and it managed to have a cohesive story at the end of it, and it is quite marvelous to look at. I will not say anymore. The art itself is one of the most impactful and risk-taking things that I want to see more in animation. Please go check out The Elephant. It was a blast. We're going to talk about Best Short Subject, and I want to highlight Snow Bear, directed by Aaron Blaircy. If I'm saying his name wrong or any names in this video wrong, I apologize. Aaron was responsible for co-directing Brother Bear. He has also drawn 11,000 frames, all done by himself, by the way. It is quite a feat, and I hope it gets the win. The other nominations as well are just as incredible, skillful, more importantly, again, abstract. I like more styles, no more of same thing. Like, let's change it up a bit, and I'm glad people are doing that. I would like to highlight TV/media for a mature audience, only because I've not seen most of these shows, and at the same time though, they are so distinctive and bizarre in a way that makes me so glad that they're not the same. Bob's Burgers and South Park has been the same occasional nominees. Common Side Effects, Aha You Clowns, and E Baracino, they are all magnificently strange in their own ways, but hey, a different style is all good for me. I'm pretty sure I might go to Bob's Burgers just because this is the 300th episode and it deals with the beginnings of Bob and Linda making the restaurant together. But also might go to South Park because those political jabs have just gotten more stronger as we keep living on in this mad world we're in right now.
Anybody was confused about my political beliefs? Fuck Donald Trump. Free Palestine. Fuck ICE. Free all oppressed people. Fuck capitalism. Fuck bitches get money. And eat the rich. I think that's everything.
We get the best effects of the feature. We get Elio, In Your Dreams, K-Pop Demon Hunters, Bad Guys 2, and Zootopia 2. I didn't see In Your Dreams, frankly, because I am not a big fan of that art style. But when you think of effects, it could go to K-Pop Demon Hunters because, man, I absolutely love the effects that they use in this, especially just seeing them with their attack modes and their performances was so great. Elio is also a good option too for the space effect, and Bad Guys 2 is very expressive. I love their 2D, 3D hybrid style, and I really admire that. With Zootopia 2, I don't know entirely, but we'll see who wins. Character animation in a feature. This is tough. I really think the part of me wants to say Elio. Guys, the alien creatures are really cool. And I just like the squishiness too that Pixar always does with their characters. But K-Pop Demon Hunters, you have incredible designs of the demons. Seeing the Saja boys also turn demon form. The effects of Guimon, who's the big giant bad guy. All those things are in effect too. Little Amelie, I don't know about this one. I do love the way that the art style looks, but I think about characters. And not to say that there was any distinctive characters, but I do like how the soft palette of the art makes them all look. Bad Guys 2, ooh, this is probably a good one because the Batgirls do really great anthropomorphic designs for them. I also think the humans themselves are just great to look at. Zootopia 2, I feel like everything was kind of the same with the animals, but Gary the Snake is different just because the animators had different aspects of the snake. And I also do really love seeing the scales of the Gary the Snake, but damn, I don't know who I want for this one. I'll be happy with either K-Pop Demon Hunters or Bad Guys 2. Now, character animation live action, I only want to highlight this just because Superman's on here. I loved Superman. The movie was such a joyous time, and when I watched it, I felt like life was so much easier. I could breathe a little bit better. David Cornsweet as Superman was really great because I had never seen Superman live action before, so this is my first introduction, and I cannot wait to see what James Gunn gets to do with Superman in the future. And coming from someone whose first exposure to Superman was watching the animated series a few years back, I'm just glad to see a Superman that is all for goodwill and fortune and not misery, thank goodness. But a part of me feels like it might go to Minecraft solely because seeing how the animators have actually made the Minecraft characters come to life in a way is also something to applaud for, but we'll see what happens. So for best character design in TV/media, I had never heard of Wednesdays with Gramps, so I went to look it up. Why didn't no one tell me about this? I haven't seen it and I need to find a way to watch it because wow, so incredible. I also would like to highlight Win or Lose. Now, it breaks my heart to see that so much progress that these animators and storytellers want to do, but then the bigger studios are just scared and they have to make something because they're afraid of the freaking, I don't want to get into details about it. You guys know what I mean. I'm tired of people having to limit themselves in storytelling. But with Win or Lose, I am happy that Pixar got to do a show that involves a co-ed baseball team and the perspectives of each of the characters. But I would really think it depends on who they want. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of the animation for Bad Fam, but Love, Death, and Robots, you will always be guaranteed one of the most interesting animation styles displayed for their storytelling. Now, character design for a feature. Oh, is Fixed on here? Ah! Y'all hear me out, please, please, please. You gotta hear me out on this. I know Fix is full of raunchy dog humor, a lot of sex humor that most people aren't particularly aware of. And yes, you do see 2D animated dog balls, but when do you ever see Gidney Karofsky take on 2D like this in a grand scheme of a feature and not a television show, which I'm not discrediting, but Gidney Karofsky is so talented and I've been so desperate for a 2D film. I would take anything, even if it is about a dog who has to get neutered in 24 hours. Anyway, I am very intrigued to see the character design for this. It's interesting though because I guess the dogs do have distinctive styles, but like I said, are they also focused on the family jewels of it all? I didn't see SpongeBob movie Search for SquarePants, and I'm not a big fan of his style. It's kind of interesting because it has a clay effect to it, but still I don't really think the style is unique. Now to Twitch, I had never heard of this movie, and Netflix has a real interesting way of advertising their movies because this is the first I'm hearing of it, and yeah, this is some gnarly designs here. I hope I can check this out soon. We get Best Directional TV/Media. I see Common Effects, Dun Dun Dun, Not a Box, The Tales of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and The Quinta Ghost. So, I don't know about this one because I have not seen any of them. If I had to guess, I would love to say Tales of TMNT just because I am a TMNT fan, but you get some really cool designs too. Like the Quintus Ghost is really incredible, and Not a Box is also adorable. I've heard a lot of Dun 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 from the internet, and a lot of the stuff that they do is probably not for me, and I wish they would focus on a different narrative, and I also have not got a chance to see Common Side Effects. Best direction for a feature: Arco, Chainsaw Man the Movie, K-Pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie, and Scarlet. Ooh, I would like to say Little Amelie because I really think the direction of that movie is so beautiful and it has a wonderful message that really tugs at your heartstrings. I would be happy for anybody else though. I am happy for Chainsaw Man the Movie. That's really great that they got a nomination. Best music in a feature. Why is this even a competition? I am not hating on anybody else who got nominated for the music. Their music is incredible, but K-Pop Demon Hunters, it's literally for them. We're talking about Takedown, banger, how it's done, amazing, Soda Pop, even though it's annoying, it's quite catchy, Golden, oh my god, your idol, Free, and this is what it sounds like. K-Pop Demon Hunters all the way, solely because Golden. And I just want to shout out the fact that seeing K-Pop Demon Hunters get Grammy nominations and all this other stuff is so amazing. It reminds me back when Disney songs were nominated for Grammys and awarded. Yes, best production design in a feature. So it's usually the same contenders as we've seen Cycle before, but if we talk about production design, I only want to say Elio just because of the space element of it all, and also just seeing the places that Elio goes to travels to, which is really great. Best storyboarding in TV/media. It's gotta be Snow Bear. Come on. I would love it for it to be Snow Bear. Please. Best storyboarding in a feature. I'm only saying it's gonna be Arco because when I got to go see a screening of Arco, I got to hear Hugo talk about the process of him making this movie and hearing how most of the team, when they were storyboarding, it was exactly how it was when it came to the final production of animating, and that is quite wonderful. So I would like to say it's him, but I'm also happy for anybody else who gets it. 2 categories I hope to be in one day. Best voice acting in TV/media and feature. We go to TV/media first. Oh my god, I can't believe Zach is nominated and it's not even for Charlie. Amazing. Happy to see Abby Jacobson back again, but this time for Long Story Short. I didn't get a chance to watch Long Story Short, and I'm so mad at myself because this is literally coming from the same guy who gave us BoJack. But as for Erica, I have not got a chance to watch Has Been, but there's a really big passion for it, so I'm happy that she got the nomination. And also the thing that's really surprising about The Amazing World of Gumball, I'm impressed how much the casting directors have somehow got the actors of Gumball and Darwin throughout the years to sound exactly the same from the beginning. Maybe slight differences, but I'm happy that Al Kayo is also nominated for Gumball. And then Men's as Tina. Tina is, without a doubt, one of the most iconic characters, and her performance alone and voice is what makes her so special. But anyone could win this. I'm gonna laugh my ass off if they give it to Zach. Now, best voice acting in a feature. My favorite part about the best voice acting in a feature, I really like that they don't rely on celebrity status, or most of the time they do because the performance makes the character, but I really appreciate that they pick some random ones and not the ones that you would usually see. Now, what's intriguing to me is that Little Rail got nominated as the Chief in Dogman, which, by the way, why did Dogman not get any more nominations than this? I thought Dogman was incredible. But yeah, Chief, he was really great, and I think Little Rail's performance really made that. I had not seen Craig Robinson as, what is it, Baloney Tony. That is a very funny name, but I have seen his performance before as Shark in Bad Guys 2 and others, so I'm pretty sure his performance was great. I would really love if it went to Arden Cho for playing Rumi in K-pop Demon Hunters, because Rumi has incredible stuff, which I really hope they expand on in the second movie. Guys, you have no idea! But yeah, Arden really did a great job with Rumi's range, and more importantly, just seeing her desperation when it comes to her demon side coming out. It really breaks my heart. I also want to highlight the singing voice for Rumi, who is EJ. She was wonderful. I don't know how a person can do such vocals that she hit, but I'm really glad she's the one to do it. My hopes it goes to Arden. Get the best writing in TV/media. Can I just tell you, I'm so glad Rami Youssef actually take on and continues to debunk a lot of the Islamophobia that goes on in this country and manages to do it within his storytelling. Really great stuff. Man, I really want the elephant to get this, guys. I really want the elephant to win this one. You have writers of Adventure Time, OKKO, Stevie Universe, and Over the Garden Wall collaborating together on one of the most exquisite specials. The best 30 minutes of my life. It's so good. Now for best writing in a feature. So, I would love to give this to Little Amelie. Little Amelie has such profound things to say as a 3-year-old, but there's also some line deliveries that I also really have admired that I'm glad that the movie took forth. I could also say Zootopia 2 could also win this, but at the same time, it's between those two, honestly. Now for best editorial in a feature. I have never heard of Olivia and Las Noobs. I would love to give it to K-pop Demon Hunters just because, but we'll see what happens. Now we get to the Jury Awards. The Jury Awards honor the unparalleled achievement and exceptional contributions towards animation. The Winston McKay Awards will go to the following: Miguel the Duke de Witt, Christopher Miller and Phil Lord, and Chris Sanders. The Jouffre Award will be going to Sandy Rabbins. The UBS IWIC Awards will be going to Wacom. And the Special Achievement Awards will be going to Lightbox Expo.